10 years after a devastating flood in south central Wisconsin, a family is celebrating the future. And crews are working to get a Madison Classic back open after a fire shuts its doors temporarily. And Governor Walker is talking about the issues facing Wisconsin dairy farmers. We'll share his thoughts. The news starts right now.
This is News 3 at 6.
Good evening and welcome to News 3 at 6. I'm Amanda Quintana. Today is the 10-year anniversary of the Lake Delton breach that drained millions of gallons of water into the Wisconsin River and left 5 homes destroyed. Our Madeline O'Neill tells us how one family is reflecting on the historic day after rebuilding their lives.
10 years ago to this day, Lake Delton was drained, and 10 years ago, the Fromm family lost their home and nearly everything they owned.
We have one hell of a story we can tell.
Telling that story
It's certainly strange.
requires a boat ride.
House was right here.
10 years ago, Tim and Liz Fromm remember celebrating their 6-year-old daughter Ashley's birthday on the beach in front of their house.
That picture was the day before. One day on the beach, next day homeless.
It was terrible. I lost all my presents, so I was mad about that. But I lost everything else as well.
A home filled with memories.
There's her little presents floating on a mattress.
Where the couple lived with their 3 daughters.
I was just in awe.
Oh, geez.
Swept away with 4 others as 600 million gallons of water surged out of Lake Delton.
Oh, I was devastated. It's just something that you'd never, ever, think could happen.
They were in deep water.
And now it's the deepest spot of the lake.
Insurance didn't cover the house's loss. And worse than building from the ground up, they had no ground to begin with. The land gone as well.
We didn't even have a fork left. So it was like, we're in a ton of trouble.
But after some financial help from the state and new business success, the Fromms set their sights on a new piece of land, on the same lake where they lost everything.
We loved the area, and I don't think we knew how much until it was taken away.
The family built this as a second house, today celebrating the turbulent journey that brought them here to calmer waters.
We all survived. We have a lot of great new friends because of it. Yeah, I'm happy.
They may have lost a house, but they're left with a story that's not going anywhere.
It's been a wild ride, but it's been a really good one.
Not only did the Fromm family build their new house on the other side of the lake, but it's built a lot higher. Reporting in Lake Delton, I'm Madeline O'Neill for WISC News 3.
Today, the family is taking boats out to where their house used to be on Lake Delton as part of their celebrations. All right, let's go to Lori Mercurio for your first alert forecast. Hi, Lori.
Hey, yeah, it turned out to be a nice day across southern Wisconsin with some sunshine and mild temperatures. Here's the look outside right now from the WISC-TV Skycam, and certainly looks like it could storm, and we do have some wet weather in the forecast. In fact, there's active weather out just to the west, a tornado watch in effect for far southeastern portions of Minnesota into northeastern Iowa. That's in effect until 10 p.m., and there have been some stronger storms with that cluster of thunderstorms there. We're expecting heavy rain with those storms, especially in far southwestern Wisconsin, where there is a flash flood watch in effect for Crawford and Grant counties until 1 a.m. Sunday. In the red there, that's a flash flood warning for portions of southeastern Minnesota. Temperatures right now are in the 70s. It's been a mild day, upper 70s for most of us, mid 70s for places like the Dells, Madison, 71 right now in Watertown. Tonight it will be mild, mostly cloudy with scattered showers and thunderstorms developing late evening and overnight for most of us. 62 for the low, and unfortunately your Sunday will have scattered showers and thunderstorms as well, and that will keep temperatures cooler, a high of just 70 degrees. We'll take a look at those storm timing coming up in a few minutes.
All right, thank you, Lori. We are following developing news this evening out of Green Bay. Authorities in Oshkosh say they're at the scene of a helicopter crash. Officers tell our affiliates in Green Bay that the helicopter hit a power line and then landed in the Fox River. At this point, crews are working to get the helicopter out of the river while a dive team looks for survivors. We are waiting to hear if anyone was injured in that crash. We will have more on this at News 3 at 10 and on our website, channel3000.com. A lot of graduation parties are probably being moved to a different place tonight as one of Madison's most popular restaurants cleans up after a fire. According to a Facebook post, the Old Fashioned on the Capitol Square likely won't reopen until Tuesday. Madison firefighters were called out just before 4 o'clock yesterday, responding to a fire inside the restaurant's kitchen. That fire caused a lot of smoke, forcing everyone to be evacuated. No one was injured, but the restaurant won't be able to reopen until the health department can inspect it. In Rock County, firefighters are looking into what caused a garage fire in Janesville this morning. Authorities say around 4:30 this morning, a fire broke out inside a garage connected to a house on the 1800 block of North Britt Road in the town of Janesville. Everyone inside the house was able to get out safely, and firefighters say because several doors were shut inside the garage and the house, the fire wasn't able to spread as fast. The homeowners are looking at around $100,000 in damage. New information tonight into the search for a fugitive in Wisconsin. Police in Waukesha County believe 43-year-old Jonathan Progreba broke into a cabin just southeast of Blair, Wisconsin earlier this week, leaving a note saying he took the license plates off of a white BMW that he is driving to the Boundary Waters. Progreba is wanted by police after allegedly pointing a gun at his wife and assaulting her. Authorities say he is dangerous and could be armed, so anyone with information is asked to call 911. Democratic Senators Tammy Baldwin of Wisconsin and Kamala Harris of California are in Madison today to speak to voters, especially young professionals. Senators Baldwin and Harris have advocated together in the Senate in support of progressive policies and brought their message to Madison's Near East Side for a crowd of young voters. For Democrats heading into midterms, many see this audience as crucial to their success.
You've seen the energy across our city, across our state, across our country. So much of the energy right now is fueled by young people who just desire to have a voice and desire to help shape our country and our state.
In her speech, Baldwin expressed concerns that the federal government is working with the interests of big business at heart rather than that of the people. The two repeatedly expressed the importance of mobilizing Democratic voters in preparation for midterms. This was just one stop in a tour across the state. And ahead of today's event, Republican State Senator Leah Vukmir released a statement saying, in part, quote, San Francisco voters may support liberals like Kamala Harris and Tammy Baldwin, but their radical left-wing agenda does not reflect Wisconsin or our values. Governor Walker was out serving food at some area pancake breakfasts earlier today. He spent time talking with farmers about several issues facing the dairy industry, including the shrinking number of Wisconsin dairy farms. At the Rock County breakfast on the farm, Walker told News 3 he's working to find ways to help those farmers.
Overall, agriculture represents about an $88 billion impact, and about half of that's related to dairy. And we know, in particular now more than ever, with nationally milk prices being too low, we want to make sure we continue to find ways to support our farmers in the dairy industry.
Also visited a breakfast in Sauk County today. In other state news tonight, researchers say Wisconsinites are heavier than previously thought. A new study from the University of Wisconsin-Madison says the state's obesity level is 10 percentage points higher than past estimates. Researchers say the state's obesity level is closer to 30%. The data was taken from nearly 2 million patient measurements. The report also found rural areas have higher rates of obesity than urban areas. Well, coming up, reduce trade barriers or face the consequences. We have an update on those tough talks on trade at the G7 summit yesterday and where President Trump is heading next. Welcome back. President Trump had tough talks with 6 leaders from the world's leading economic powers. At times, it appeared the G7 summit was really the G6 against the United States. But the president insists that is not true. He says he just wants what's fair for America. Wei Zhang is in Quebec City, Canada, with more details.
It should be. No tariffs, no barriers. That's the way it should be.
President Trump said he laid down the law with America's trading partners, making their borders 100% open to trade or risk losing access to the world's largest economy.
Tariffs are going to come way down because people cannot continue to do that. We're like the piggy bank that everybody's robbing, and that ends. It's going to stop. Or we'll stop trading with them.
The president infuriated America's trading partners when he implemented new tariffs on imported steel and aluminum, but he warned them not to retaliate with their own tariffs and start a trade war.
The numbers are so astronomically against them in terms of anything as per your question. We win that war 1,000 times out of 1,000.
Despite all of the tough talk, President Trump insists he got along with all the other world leaders in the summit. Instead, he blamed trade deficits on his predecessors.
I would say the relationship is a 10. And I don't blame them. I blame, as I said, I blame our past leaders for allowing this to happen.
Now the president is heading to Singapore, where he will sit down for a face-to-face meeting with Kim Jong-un. He said it won't take long to determine if Kim is serious about denuclearization.
How long will it take to figure out whether or not they're serious? I said maybe in the first minute.
The summit is scheduled to begin on Tuesday. Wei Zhang for WISC News 3.
President Trump repeated his view that Russia should be readmitted despite its annexation of Ukraine's Crimean Peninsula 4 years ago, and he blamed President Obama for letting Crimea, quote, get away. Coming up, what better spot to spend a sunny Saturday, especially if you're a Badger? We'll take you to the Art Lake Green bike event at Alumni Park when we come back.
And it was a nice day, but showers and thunderstorms are in the forecast through the rest of the weekend. Stay tuned. Weather is coming up.
Families and community members were welcome to Alumni Park today to enjoy lakefront views and activities under the sun. The Wisconsin Alumni Association held their Art Lake Green Bike event today. Attendees interacted with alumni who led a variety of activities at Alumni Park, which to many is a great place to welcome community members to campus.
We're excited to have families come and be welcomed to the campus and the lakefront and feel like they've had a great time, had a wonderful experience, and learned a little something about the UW or what it might be like to go to school here, what you could do with your education.
The event had activities such as demonstrations by a UW alumni chef and lavender farmer, boat tours, and arts and crafts. The event stretched along campus from Alumni Park to Allen Centennial Gardens and Chazen Museum of Arts. Arts and craft vendors from across the Midwest are in Sun Prairie today. The Sun Prairie Chamber of Commerce hosts the Taste of the Arts Fair, giving vendors a chance to sell their art as well as give the area an economic boost. With over 120 booths, organizers say it's a great way to get people into Sun Prairie.
We're building awareness of our community, having a nice event in our community that brings people here.
The fair has gone on annually for 30 years. Well, it was a nice day to be outside, but we might need our umbrellas soon.
That's right. Yeah, it turned out to be a nice day, which is good news for all the outdoor plans and festivals. So much going on, but yes, we'll see a change for the rest of the weekend, tonight and into tomorrow. In fact, there is active weather just to the west. A tornado watch in effect for southeastern Minnesota, northeastern Iowa until 10 p.m. And there are a cluster of thunderstorms there heading into Iowa that will eventually reach us southwestern Wisconsin later this evening, and the rest of us as we continue overnight. Heavy rain will be a big problem with these thunderstorms, or one of the main concerns. In fact, there is a flash flood watch in effect for much of the area there, northeastern Iowa, northwestern Illinois, and then far southwestern Wisconsin, including Crawford and Grant counties. That's until 1 a.m. Sunday, so look out for the potential of heavy rain, especially there. Looking from the Queen Bee Radio Skycam right now, a cloudy sky certainly looks like it could thunderstorm out there. And we do have temperatures on the warm side into the upper 70s to around 80 degrees across much of Wisconsin today, 83 in La Crosse, and mid to upper 80s across much of Iowa. As for us for the rest of the weekend, though, it will actually be cooler as we'll have the clouds and showers and thunderstorms around. Currently in Madison, 76 degrees. Winds are out of the east-southeast at 8 miles an hour. That dew point is up there, though. You can surely feel the humidity outside, currently at 64 degrees. Current readings are in the upper 70s in most locations, 71 though in Watertown, 76 in the Dells, and 78 right now in Lone Rock. And again, those dew points are in the 60s, in fact, at 70 degrees for places like Mineral Point and in Platteville. So yeah, you're going to tell, you can feel that humidity there. Future track will show us as we continue toward late evening, those thunderstorms moving into southwestern Wisconsin, and those could be on the strong side initially as they move in. Again, there's a look at 10 p.m., but most of us don't see those showers and thunderstorms until overnight. There's the look at 3 a.m., scattered showers and thunderstorms moving through. As we head toward tomorrow morning, there'll be a few showers and storms around, another cluster expected as we head into the afternoon hours. So we are expecting some wet weather and cooler temperatures tomorrow as well. As for temperatures tonight, though, will be in the lower 60s for lows as we head toward tonight. Should mention heavier amounts of rain, close to 3 inches in Prairie du Chien. So that's where we're going to see the heaviest amount, 62 for the overnight low, with that rain and thunderstorms developing late evening and overnight. Scattered showers and thunderstorms tomorrow, a high of just 70 degrees. And as we head toward Monday, it will be a warmer day with highs in the lower 80s. Showers and storms late Monday into Tuesday morning. 80 degrees on Wednesday, a mainly dry day, cooling off by the end of the week with temperatures in the 70s.
Well, it is a big Saturday in high school sports. We've got state titles in boys tennis and softball. Highlights and postgame from the Poinet Tomahawk game. That's next in sports.
And on Fox 47 News tonight, a Janesville couple is turning an old home into a place for recovery. We'll tell you why they want to help those with substance abuse issues after the game.
Well, 5 state titles handed out today on the high school softball diamond. We've got 2 teams from our area representing. 1 game already in the books, 1 more to go tonight. We start with Division 3. The Poinet Pumas taking on the Tomahawk Hatchets. I love those children. Top of the 4th, no outs, and freshman Peyton Kingsland, gutsy call here, stealing 3rd. And then the ball gets away. She runs home and scores 1-0 Poinet. Top of the 6th now, 2 outs. We've got a rally. Molly Anderson hits it to the second baseman, and Ashley Hellenbrand making it home. Final score, 2-0. Poinet winning the Division 3 state title, and these Pumas, they were ready to go from the start.
Rode the bus, we were partying the whole way. We were loose, we were ready to go. You know, we're a family, this team, that's what I say. They brought me in as a senior. I didn't bring them in, they brought me in. We're like a family, and winning this game with them means everything. Coming from 2 years ago when we lost, got run ruled at the state tournament, coming back, that really pushed us as a team to finish it off this year.
And just 1 more title to be handed out in Division 1. Sun Prairie will put its undefeated season to the test against Burlington. First pitch around 6:30 at Goodman Diamond. We'll have highlights tonight on News 3 at 10. Division 2 WIA State Tennis. Hunter Dunn and Forrest Lynn from Edgewood. They would defeat Matthew Cooper and Addison Elliott from University School in Milwaukee here in the doubles. Edgewood winning the state title in Division 2, 4-3, the final score. Well, Eric Thames continues to be on the up and up. The Brewers' first baseman expected to join the team after this weekend. Thames is currently rehabbing with the AAA Sky Sox. And meanwhile, hot bats again at Citizens Bank Park in Philadelphia. Phillies in the lead by 1 until the 6th. Ji-Man Choi crushes that ball to the left field corner. That ball really had no chance. Grand slam. First one of the year for the team. The Brewers, sad Jake Arrieta there, take the lead. 7th inning now, Jesus Aguilar. He will go deep to left center there. That's an RBI double scoring Christian Yelich. 7-3 Brewers. The Brewers killing it in this series. They beat the Phillies 12-3, the final score. At Wrigley Field, Cubs trying to make it 2 in a row against the Pirates. First inning, Ben Zobrist. He would line one to right and be out, but Chris Bryant scores. Cubs up first, 1-0. Next up, Anthony Rizzo. He'll pop that one up to right. Sacrifice fly scoring Jason Hayward, 2-0 Cubs. That would be the final. The Cubs win. Steve Stricker at the FedEx St. Jude Classic this weekend in Memphis, Tennessee. On 18, he would miss this birdie putt. Nice facial hair, by the way, there, Strick. But he would settle for par here. Shot 5 birdies today, but also 1 bogey and 1 double bogey. But he is tied for 10th with 8 other pros, including defending U.S. Open champion Brooks Koepka. Andrew Putnam and Dustin Johnson tied for first. Stricker only 9 strokes off of the lead going into tomorrow's final round, which, by the way, you can watch right here on WISC-TV starting at 2 p.m. The final leg of the Triple Crown and the 150th running of the Belmont Stakes in New York. All eyes on Justify, who won the Kentucky Derby and the Preakness. Well, Justify got out to an early lead, and for the 13th time in history, we've got a Triple Crown winner. Justify trained by Bob Baffert, who also trained American Pharoah. The last Triple Crown winner, that was in 2015. American Sloane Stephens and Romanian Simona Halep in the women's singles finals at Roland Garros. Halep currently ranked #1 in the world and was down a set to start the match, but she came back and won 2 to win the French Open and her first career Grand Slam trophy. She's only the 2nd woman from Romania to win a Grand Slam's title. No shortage of celebrations in NorCal after the Warriors swept the Cavaliers in the NBA Finals last night. Golden State going back-to-back and fans wasting no time getting championship gear ahead of Tuesday's victory parade in Oakland. And there were fireworks, of course, to celebrate outside of Oracle Arena last night. Finally, Alex Ovechkin living his best life right now, fresh off of a Stanley Cup championship. Lord Stanley's Cup has done a lot of public appearances lately. Ovi throwing out the first pitch at the Giants-Nationals game today, so not as bad as some we've seen, like 50 Cent. But he was not happy with it, took a mulligan, and apparently you're allowed to do that. Sure, why not? Second pitch was much better. Max Scherzer liked it. I mean, he really has been living his best life lately, winning and throwing out first pitches at games.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Let's take a look at weather.
Yeah, we'll have scattered showers and storms develop tonight. Most of us overnight with a low of 62.
Thanks for joining us. Have a great night.